In the grand narrative of existence, humanity is constantly engaged in battles, some external and visible, others internal and profoundly subtle. Among the latter, the struggle between being and non-being is one of the most significant, particularly for those experiencing spiritual awakening. This battle is not fought with swords or shields, but with awareness, willpower, and understanding. It is a confrontation that shapes how we perceive the world, ourselves, and the very act of existing. To understand this dynamic is to unlock the door to deeper self-awareness and profound spiritual growth. Spiritual awakening often ushers in a profound internal struggle, an invisible battle that unfolds in the depths of one's psyche. This conflict, though intangible, feels undeniably real, manifesting as an inexplicable heaviness or a pervasive sense of dread. It may appear as paralyzing anxiety or existential doubt, leaving individuals grappling with questions they cannot fully articulate. At the heart of this struggle lies the interplay between two fundamental forces, being and non-being. Being represents the essence of creation and existence. It is the affirmative force that says yes to life, propelling us toward growth, fulfillment, and self-realization. Being thrives in action, connection, and the pursuit of purpose. It is the force that fuels our creativity and drives us to construct meaning in an often chaotic world. In contrast, non-being is the force of negation, the shadow that questions, dismantles, and denies. It whispers doubts about purpose and meaning, challenging the very foundation of existence. Non-being withdraws, silences, and deconstructs, seeking to dissolve the structures built by being. This silent, pervasive struggle is not unique to the spiritually awakened. It is woven into the fabric of human experience, influencing every decision, thought, and emotion. Awareness of this battle is the first step in navigating its complexities, allowing one to engage with these forces consciously rather than being unconsciously swayed by them. To understand non-being, one must recognize that it is not a single, uniform force, but a duality that exists in both neutral and negative forms. In its neutral state, non-being manifests as the void, a vast expanse of nothingness that is paradoxically full of potential. It is the ultimate blank canvas, a fertile emptiness where all creation begins. This void is not a force of destruction. Rather, it is a space where ideas can germinate and where the seeds of existence are sown. From this nothingness, the very fabric of reality emerges. Thoughts, concepts, and forms materialize and take shape. In this sense, non-being is the silent foundation upon which all being is built. It is the invisible stage upon which the drama of life unfolds, providing the necessary emptiness for creation to occur. However, non-being also possesses a darker polarity. When this force takes on a negative expression, it manifests as nihilism, negation, and annihilation. It becomes the voice that questions the meaning of existence, the force that seeks to undo what has been created. This destructive aspect of non-being is experienced as a deep sense of futility, an overwhelming denial of purpose that threatens to paralyze the individual. It is this negative side of non-being that often emerges during moments of spiritual awakening, challenging everything one holds to be true and silencing the will to create. At the metaphysical level, the forces of being and non-being are not simply opposing entities, but rather collaborators in the grand act of creation. Together, they form a dynamic relationship that underpins the entire fabric of reality. Without the void of non-being, there would be no space for being to manifest. The emptiness of non-being serves as the fertile ground upon which the seeds of existence are sown. In turn, without the force of being, without the creative impulse that drives manifestation, non-being would remain inert, a stagnant nothingness that would never give birth to form, ideas, or life itself. It is this intricate dance between being and non-being that gives rise to the universe, the ebb and flow of creation, and even the very essence of our existence. This balance between forces is the essence of life itself. While these two elements may appear as opposites, they are, in fact, deeply interdependent. Non-being creates the potential for being, and being breathes life into non-being, making existence possible. It is the tension between these forces that shapes the cosmos, from the smallest particles to the grandest galaxies. On a personal level, this same tension influences every facet of our lives, from our inner thoughts to our outward actions. When non-being tilts into its negative polarity, it takes on the form of denial. This denial can be expressed both outwardly and inwardly, each carrying its own distinct consequences. Outward denial, in its destructive form, seeks to dominate and suppress. It manifests as oppression, rejection, and the annihilation of other people's existence or perspectives. It is a force that strives to silence creation, to deny the validity of being in the external world. In contrast, inward denial is more subtle but no less destructive. When non-being turns inward, it creates a sense of self-doubt, paralysis, and existential futility. It manifests as a series of insidious questions. What's the point of all of this? Does any of this matter? Inward denial is particularly dangerous because it erodes willpower, leaving the individual trapped in a cycle of self-negation. This is where the personal battle between being and non-being becomes most acute, often leading to feelings of being overwhelmed, stuck, and powerless. The struggle for meaning and purpose becomes not just a cosmic force, but a deeply personal challenge, one that impacts our every decision, belief, and action. The consequences of this denial can be profound, as it prevents the individual from fully engaging with life and pursuing their true potential. The void is often feared or misunderstood as an emptiness, a barren absence of meaning. In many spiritual traditions, this void is seen as something to be avoided, an intimidating abyss that threatens to consume all that we hold dear. However, when examined closely, the void reveals itself not as a force of destruction, but as a profound source of possibility and creation. It is the fertile ground from which all existence emerges, offering infinite potential for transformation and manifestation. It is a blank canvas, waiting to be filled with color, form, and meaning. The true power of the void lies in its neutrality. It lacks inherent meaning or definition, which may give it an air of desolation or even despair. Yet, it is precisely this emptiness that gives it its creative power. Without emptiness, there could be no space for creation to unfold. The void is the limitless potential before thought, action, and being. It is the place where all possibilities coexist before any one of them is chosen or realized. In this way, the void does not hold despair. It holds the promise of everything that could be. To approach the void with curiosity and creativity is to recognize its role in the process of becoming. Rather than seeing it as a vacuum, one can view it as an opportunity, an invitation to create, to generate meaning, and to shape one's reality. The void is not a passive emptiness, it is a dynamic field, awaiting the spark of creation to breathe life into it. This metaphysical conflict between being and non-being is mirrored in the human psyche. Within us, the light and shadow dance together, and the forces of affirmation and denial are constantly at play. These internal struggles shape our interactions with the world, coloring our relationships, decisions, and perceptions. Often these forces operate beneath the surface of consciousness, influencing us in ways we may not fully understand. However, recognizing this dynamic, the interplay between creation and negation, is crucial for personal growth and healing. One of the most crippling manifestations of non-being's negative polarity is paralyzed will. This state of paralysis is not simply a lack of motivation, but a deeper energetic freeze that blocks the life force itself. Paralyzed will is the profound suppression of our ability to act, create, and engage with the world. It is a state of inertia where everything feels impossible, where the will to move forward is stifled by the weight of denial and futility. In this frozen state, the individual feels stuck, powerless, and unable to make decisions or take action. The key to overcoming paralyzed will is to address the root causes of this internal freeze, to recognize the forces at play within the psyche, and to shift from denial to affirmation. It is only through reclaiming the life force, embracing the potential of the void, and affirming our existence that we can break free from this immobilizing state and move forward into creation. The journey to healing begins with awareness. It is the key that unlocks the door to understanding the forces of being and non-being at play within us. Often, we move through life without fully recognizing the internal battles that shape our thoughts, actions, and emotions. Yet, these forces influence every aspect of our existence, often operating beneath the surface of conscious awareness. The first step toward healing is to bring these forces into the light, to see them for what they are. Only by recognizing their presence can we break free from the cycle of denial, paralysis, and self-sabotage that keeps us stuck in patterns of inaction and despair. One powerful tool for cultivating this awareness is compassionate inquiry. Compassionate inquiry involves gently exploring our thoughts, beliefs, and judgments with an open, non-judgmental attitude. It is the process of asking ourselves deep, compassionate questions. Questions that invite self-reflection and understanding rather than condemnation. Questions like, why do I feel this way? Or, what am I denying about myself? Encourage us to look within, to identify the underlying causes of our paralysis, and to uncover the patterns that perpetuate our sense of futility. Through compassionate inquiry, we create a space where we can begin to integrate the parts of ourselves that have been suppressed or denied. At the heart of the struggle between being and non-being lies choice. Being invites us to affirm life, to say yes to existence, to engage with the world and all of its possibilities. Non-being, in its negative form, urges us to say no, to retreat into denial, to disengage from the flow of life. It whispers that there is no point, that everything is futile, and that existence is a burden. But even within the void of non-being, there lies the potential for creation. The void is not inherently negative. It is neutral, and within that neutrality is the opportunity for us to assign meaning and purpose. We are not passive recipients of the void's emptiness. We are active participants in the process of transformation. The cosmic dance between being and non-being mirrors the dualities we experience in our own lives. Light and dark, affirmation and denial, creation and destruction. These are not opposing forces, but complementary aspects of the whole. They are necessary for the balance and flow of existence. By understanding these forces, by acknowledging their presence within us, we can begin to find balance in our own lives. This balance enables us to navigate life with greater clarity, resilience, and creativity. We are no longer at the mercy of unconscious patterns and internal battles. Instead, we can consciously choose how to engage with the world, how to create meaning, and how to move forward in alignment with our highest potential. The battle between being and non-being is not one of absolute victory or defeat. It is an ongoing journey, a dance that shapes our lives and our souls. By embracing awareness, creativity, and compassion, we can transcend the paralysis of non-being and step into the vibrant potential of being. This journey is not about erasing the void, but about learning to navigate it. It is about finding meaning in the emptiness, beauty in the struggle, and purpose in the act of creation. In the end, the power lies within us to choose, to create, and to affirm our existence in the face of denial.